let's check that answer real quick. Okay, because you're gonna see these same questions. When I build your stuff, quizzes, tests, homework and whatnot, I look at your tests. Based off your tests, I make sure homework starts to match that. And then I make sure the quizzes start to match that. And finally, the last quiz, that's basically your test. That's your last chance to realize, oh yeah, that's going fine. Oh no, that's not good. So let's look at this today. On number 4, as we said, okay, as we distribute right there, did you make that same mistake or not? Negative times a negative is a positive. A positive times a negative is a negative. You got calculators. Use the calculators. Combine like terms, and then right there, when we combine those like terms, negative 15 plus 2, that one will probably be multiple choice one again. You got calculators to check your arithmetic. What do we got there, somebody? I'm looking for a negative 13 off of that. Did you have that on your paper? I hope so. Okay, let's go back to the quiz. Let's go find question 2 now, the quiz. Okay. Found some back and forth. Just have to bear with us. Okay, what was question 2, everybody? Let's go look at it. On question 2, got more greens than red, it looks like. Give it a second to load. That's good. All right, here is the frustrating one. This is, you missed it. This is the frustrating one. We've been doing a lot about the slope work. Determining the rate of change is just the slope. This particular person here selected what we say is the reciprocal. Reciprocal is just flipping it. So they chose B, which is very similar to letter A. So again, what happens here is on these, button, where the heck did that go? Oh, come on. That's, I'm not even get up to there. Shoot. Hold on, because I don't want that to happen. Pull up. Boom, boom, boom. It's in presentation mode. Hold on, boys and girls, sorry about that. We are present. Back to presentation mode. Alright. And get that off there. Okay, as I was saying there, my bad. Right there on the table, trying to determine the slope or the rate of change, this is what you were doing. Okay? We saw we were going down 3. We saw we were going up 2. What is it? Y's over x's or x over y's? Rise over run, right? Change in the y of change in the x. This is your y column. This is your x column. So the answer should have been, yes, 3 over 2. Negative 3 over 2. If you messed that up, that's an easy fix. Every point that you missed here, pretty much you can add back to yourself about 3%. Every point that you miss, add is about 3%. That adds up pretty quickly. All right, let's go look at the test review. Give you a chance to try it on your own. And let's do it right here. Number 6, okay? Let's do letter A to start off with. Now letter A is asking you a little bit of a change to it. Is a linear function? Yes or no? So you have to unfortunately go through and calculate. Let me see if I can find one that actually is. Pause. Let's just flip it. Let's look at 7. That's a little bit better one. Okay, on number 7 there. Sorry. Pause. Let's look at 7. Number 7 is a little bit better one. That's where you need to go through. I'm already telling you it's linear. With it already being linear, you just need to go through and look at the change in one of those. Here to here, here to here. Just look at one of those changes, and that's going to get you that slope. That's going to get you that rate of change. Okay, good. Very good. Let's go by number 7. On your own. Go and change it. How are you going to change from what to what? Negative 9 to negative 6. And now you're going to change from negative 2 to negative 1. Go do it. I'll just sit there and stare at it. Get that pencil out. Too much staring for the rest of the days. You all can go from negative 9 to negative 6. How much does that change? Negative 2 to negative 1. How much does that change? Yeah. So every time I kept asking you how do I write it up, 1 over 3 or 3 over 1, I'll have to go back to that there. So how do we write that thing up? 3 over 1. Reduce it down if you can, and the slope is just 3. Now, nothing on here says the slope. That starts to build our equation though. So on your on your test Monday, that's that rate of change. That slope is the rate of change, 3 over 1, or just 3. Now, while we're on this page, let's continue on. That answers the question 2 on the quiz. Let's quickly identify the x and y intercept. We look at the table. Intercepts occur when I see some zeros out there. I see a 0 here and a 0 there. Again, this time of the game, which one is the y-intercept? Because it is saying, hey, when x is 0, the y is -3. That completes your equation because you have the slope now, you have the y-intercept now. The other one is what we call the x-intercept, because when y is 0, what do we get? X is 1. And what's the other quick answer? What are eyes doing if we were to graph this? What influences that? The slope. Okay, that is coming from the slope. Let's write this off to the side because some of you made some dumb mistakes because you're not looking at the slope. You're looking at whatever crosses your eye there. The slope is 3. We're increasing. Okay?
Can we do B because there's a funky rate of change there and I want them to be able to...
Let's look at letter B then. Okay, take a moment. Do letter B, find me the slope. Find me the rate of change. We just did on letter A. Go do it. It is. I'm telling you it's linear. I'll talk about it in a second, Chloe. You don't have to do them all. Just gotta do that first change. I'll talk about it in a second, Chloe. Just go find me that first change. From y to y, x to x. What are you doing? 0 to -1. What are you doing from -8 to -4? Just gotta go find me that change. Are you going from 0 to -1? Oh, sorry. Yep, minus, isn't it? My bad. And then how are you going from -8 to -4? +4. So, if you use multiple choice, you're going to select the one that is negative what over what? -1 over 4. Whoops. Give myself a little bit more room there. Now, we'll come back, talk more about that slope in a second. This kilo says it's a little funky, so did Chloe. We'll come back to it. Now, how about the next part? What is the y-intercept really quick? The y-intercept is, and then the y, sorry, not that. The x-intercept is right there, right? -8. That's the x-intercept. As we work through these reviews in our notes, and this will be true for second semester, as I'm writing things down, Ms. Keenel's writing things down on the board. That's for you to do that as well, so that triggers you later on as you're studying. And what are our eyes doing off of this one? If we were to graph it, the graph would be because of the negative, right, 1/4. Okay? So with that, as I would see from one to the other, Chloe, where do you think we're saying things are just a little funky at? Oh, from the 0 to -1, and then -1 to, yeah, I see what you're saying there.
With 3 and then 1.
Yeah, that's probably a typo on my part.
That's what I was talking
Okay,
about.
I got you
I was
now.
too, I was like,
Should probably have been that. Okay. Yeah, it should have probably been that because on this particular side, these are being linear. You're not having to figure anything out besides that first change. So on here, as again, the two of them were pointed out, myself, it has to be consistent, and that's probably where it should have actually been a positive. And because that should have been a positive 1/4, what should my graph probably have been doing then? Thank you. All right. Typo on my end. I know that's not the case on the test. Okay, it is correct there.
You do yourself confusing.
I know, Victor. You did well, so let's keep it up. I'm not confusing you too much. All right, let's flip it back to your quiz. Let's look at question 3. On question 3, let's find it. Go to your quiz, find it as well. If you do not have your quiz pulled up, all Alright, pull up, your Chromebook times out, bring it back up. Lots of greens, only a couple reds, so that's cool. Well, that's nice to see. We can correctly calculate our slope from a graph. That's nice. The answer is 1. Let's go find one like that real quick off our review. Nothing there. Do we have one on the next page? Nothing there. I don't know if I have one like that. Which is probably why, because we've done that slope from a graph for how many flipping times? A lot. Alright, I don't really have one, so we'll just continue on from there. So again, with our slope, first thing we're doing is our eyes are going up. So those possibilities, which one can it not be? Yes. Dang, I'll have to do that on the other side. Oh, 1 second. I'm going to use the tabs on the other side so it doesn't keep knocking me out, guys. We run question 3.
Yes.
Alright. My life is just... Alright. Which one we were playing the knockout game on? It was not going to be letter B, because our eyes are going up. Can't be 0. 0 would be horizontal, constant. So between A and C, going through and figuring out what is our rise and run. Up 1, right 1. You guys evidently have done very well with that. Keep up with that. All right, let's go find question 4 since there's nothing on the quiz to review with that. Question 4. What we got? Lots of greens, full, few reds. Look at some of that. Oh, we just talked about that. Now on question 4 here, A and B are just, I guess this is one choice. Okay, you are determining if it's a function or not. So we do have to go through and check to see if we have consistency and consistency off of there. So as I was doing on that previous side, let's look at number 6, okay? That's what number 6 does for you. I need to see from you guys on letter A, B, and C. I'm asking you, is it linear or not? And if it's linear or not, we do need to go check all these changes and see, is it consistent? Yes or no? So Victor is saying here, the X's are going up by 1, and I keep seeing by 1. I see those 3 changes of 1, cool. And then on the other side, the Y's, he's saying it's going down by 2, down by 2, down by 2. So Victor, what will we select? Yes or no was a linear function? Yes, it's a linear function. Because do we have consistency off of that? We sure do. If you've got that consistency, it's linear. And what that means is the rate of change, the slope, same thing, is what? Negative 2 over 1, or just negative 2. Okay? And what would your eyes be doing then? Increasing, decreasing, or constant? Thank you. Okay, go do letter B now. I'm going to put 30 seconds in my head. Go check letter B. Is it increasing, decreasing, or constant? Sorry. Go find me the slope. Go find me the rate of change. Are you changing from Y to Y to Y, from X to X to X? Do we have consistency there? Yes or no?
Yes. So what we're gonna have is
Yeah, so we are going through doing all this. That better break on Monday.
negative 3.
What we did on letter A, check it on B.
of x minus 1, which leads to negative 3x minus 1. Can you combine those together? So it's gonna be
This is right. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Do we have a linear function? Yes or no? What screws it up? Yep, right here screws it up, correct? So what are we gonna select? No. And since I selected no on linear function, that means nothing else matters. That is correct. So we cannot answer out those other two if we said no. All right, last one. Go check it for me. How are we going from -3, -5 to -7, whatever it is? 14. Do we have consistency up there again? Check it out. You want me? Check it out. Especially if you missed out on question 3 or 4 where it was on the quiz. You have that consistency. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. Doing the x's is fine, right? +1, +1, +1. Now is that seeing the same consistency happening on the other side? Terry's shaking his head no. What do we got? What are we doing to start off with? Going what? Down, going down, going down. Not quite the same, is it? So we're gonna select on Monday, no linear function. And then because we selected no, we cannot answer out those other two pieces. You have to be linear to answer it out. All right, let's flip it back to our quiz. Let's look at the next question here. That was 4. Let's go look at 5. Question 5 had 2 parters, looks like, an A and a B. And on that A and the B, I got less greens from you. I've got more yellows. That means you got part of the question right, just not all of it. So take a look and see what you answered out on 5A. First thing I notice is, right here, we got our tables again. When I see this linear table, I am going through doing my y's and x's all over again, what we just did. What that's going to calculate me then again is that slope, that rate of change. And that's what I'm noticing here off of this student. This student said the rate of change is 9, and if you miss these next two, we got some issues. It is always the second over the first column, dollars per hour. I've heard of dollars per hour, have not heard of hours per dollars. Dollars per hour. So 9, and it's always the second column followed by the first column. Now, how did I get that 9 again? Based off of what we've been doing here. Okay. I'm doing my changes. Using maybe my calculator. 18 to 27 is 9. 27 to 36. 36 to 45. Plus 1 plus 1. 9 divided by 1 is, that's where that 9's coming into play. Now, with that 9 coming into play, let's go look at 5B, and then we're going to 5-1 on our quiz. But let me just see here what, now this person here is giving me 11. That tells me you're close. It's your subtraction skills that have messed you up. You said 18 to 27 was 11. It's not. And then you got calculators. This person right here, whoever did the 1/9, that's the ones that ticked me off. Because you clearly got what's going on there, but you did x over y instead of what? Y over x. 1/9, that's an easy fix. The 11 is an easy fix. All right, this person left it blank. Come on. This person doesn't count. All right, so let's go look at 5B. And on 5B now, some of you had the question of right here as it comes up, making the equation. You just already did the hard part. The hard part was finding that 9. So the function is your earnings is 9 times T. What were we doing here? We were selling, or not, we're doing time. We were doing time. So however many hours you worked, you get that much money. $9 per hour is what you're getting. So now we use our equation. We work 40 hours, 90 times 4, $360. The reverse of that. How many hours do you have to work to earn $315? as we've done before, you're using that equation. And use some common sense, people. If you said 8, 9 times 8 is only 72, right? That's not $315. You guys are smart. You guys can do 9 times 8. That doesn't make sense. What I'm doing is using our equation skills and taking 315 divided by 9. We did that before. And what is that, Victor? We should be working 35 hours. Let's see if we can find one like that. So let's go back. Let's look at the back side of your test review, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of where it goes right to. Okay, on the back side of your test review, this is where it's at. Okay, let's do a few of these while we're here. Let's do that number 11 to start off with. What are we doing here? We're buying pounds of tomatoes. So our T of P, what do we talk? Our T of P in our equation is 75 cents per pound of tomatoes. That's just like if you were getting paid $9 an hour. That's that 9T we just did. Now, what's it say right here? T of 5. What does that mean? We bought how much tomatoes? Yep, we bought sold. We bought 5 pounds. Bought 5 pounds and paid. Go to your calculator. Again, some of you I don't think are really relying on their calculator enough. 5 times 0.75. You paid $3.75 for that. Okay. You got a $5 in your wallet. How many pounds of tomatoes are we going to be able to purchase off of that $5? Okay. Reverse it. That gave me $3.75. I plug that into 5, and I divide right here. So go to your calculator, and we are not going to divide it just like we divided the 9. 5 divided by 0.75 gives me, yep, not good, right? 666. So what are we going to round that to? I'm going to keep it down. I'm going to keep it down there. I'm going to keep it to that 6 pounds. Because if I round it up to 7 times 75 cents, does that keep me above or below 5? Just a little bit above it, right? 525. Okay, let's go back to the quiz. Let's go find another one here, boys and girls. Question 6 we're on. Go scroll to question 6. Question 6, we got about 50-50. Greens and then some yellows and reds. Let's look at question 6 on you. All right, on your question 6. All right. Yeah, this is when it pissed me off. So, right here, I don't know. I know where 4 cents is coming from, but that makes no sense. This was your easy one. This is the one you plug into your calculator. So if you get your calculator right now, you get decimals. So plug it into your calculator. Do not ever give you -4 cents. It'll give you the correct answer. Okay, so plug it in. What do we plug in? What number are we plugging in for X up there? 4. Now go to that calculator. Sleep on your own time, not mine. We're plugging in 4 for X. And as we do that, -2 times 4 plus 14. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. Any more simpler than that. When you type that in correctly to your calculator, what do we get there? We should have gotten an easy 6 out of that. Now, the one below is the only one I would feel, okay, maybe not as stellar as letter B. This person got that right. Maybe lucky guess, I don't know, considering they told me 4 7s up above. How am I figuring out 80? I got 2 ways. If your equation skills from 5th and 6th grade aren't there, you're going to do exactly what we just did. Take 15. 4 times 15 minus 20. Does that give me 80? No. I go to my calculator, I try 25. 4 times 25 minus 20. Does that give me 80? Yes, it does. And then I'm done. If that was not in the right order, I take 320. 4 times 320 minus 20, does that give me 80? No. The only answer could be is that. That's the long route. What's the, I guess, the shorter route? God dang it. I gotta move that stupid tab. I thought I found a nice space for it. I guess I didn't. Hold on, boys and girls. Change it over. Alright, as I was saying here, we are going to set up our equation just like we did a few minutes ago and use your equation skills from here. 4 and negative 20, which one are we moving first, the 4 or the negative 20? Inverse of a negative 20 is a plus. And just like we did the tomatoes a second ago, it's 4 times x, and the inverse of multiplication is division. Use the calculators if you need to. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. Let's go find one on our test review. Do we have one similar to that? Did I give you one like that because it's pretty straightforward? Maybe not. Alright, let's take a look if I got you one on there or not. It's not looking like it. Alright, because I thought we did enough of those. Up, number 5, front side, number 5, find 5. Okay. I want you to go type in 0.5 into that equation. Give me the number in return. 10 times 0.5 minus 5. You got Desmos you're using? Put up Desmos. Go type it in right now. Give me that answer. Do not wait. Do not just sit there and stare at the screen. I'm staring at my screen intently. It looks like I'm working, but I'm doing nothing. You get a calculator at your desk. You're plugging that into your calculator. Just don't sit there with it. This should be it. Don't have to think about it. Plug that into your calculator. If you do not plug that into your calculator, this is about your last chance to ask that out. No, on the test review. Plug it in, plug it in. Plug that into your calculator. You should be getting a that one I'm not sure. We're doing letter B right there, 0.5. We're doing 0.5. Letter B, 0.5. Plug in that 0.5. Let somebody get out of a calculator. What's that? I should be getting 0. Or for letter B, you better be getting 0 on that screen of yours. Go plug in letter D. Now, how did I again do that? I did right here. I typed that in exactly as it is into my calculator. If you need to see that again, Desmos, I'll bring it up. But that should be like a long time ago. We are done with that. Use those parentheses as we keep talking about. What number are we plugging in? 0. And then we're minusing 5. So somebody get a negative 5 out of there. If you're not getting a negative 5 off your calculator right now, raise your hand. Ms. Keto and I will come around and help you. But man, those are the easy ones there. Those are the easy ones. Don't take a screenshot. All right, let's continue on here. Guess I just hit the X. All right, so off of that, screenshot's there now. Of course it is. Delete you. All right, what did we just say? The answer was negative 5. Thank you. Okay, let's go back to A and B. A and B will be multiple choice ones on your test, just like they were in your quiz there. So on letter A, what I am doing to my equation then is setting that equal. This is the way I'm going to approach it. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then what am I doing with that other 10? Dividing it. And 10 divided by 10 is 1. X equals 1. It's a multiple choice question. I'm going to select the one that has 1 on there. Okay. do the other one. Do the exact same setup for letter C now. We're going to set 35 equal to 10x minus 5. Take a 30-second there and go solve it out. Follow the exact same steps as you just did on letter A with me. Go do it. Take that pencil, write it out. I suppose this does not work for you. Add 5 to both sides gets minus 5. Both sides added 5. 35 plus 5 is 40. And then as I follow my steps on that first one, I'm always dividing right there. And 40 divided by 10 is 4. So you're going to select the one that has x equal to 4. Now, if you're not going to solve it out, that's fine. It's multiple choice. You will have 4 options. Just plug them into your calculator right there for x and see which one turns out to be 35. That's the long way on it. It works, but that's just the long way. Solve your equations, your equation skills. January, Ms. Keno and I are going to slap you left, right, up, and down as we get into equations then. All right? So we're going to go a lot more into just 2-steppers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps are about to hit you. All right. Let's go back to your quiz. What question are we on now? Question 7. Let's go look at your question 7 here. All right, question 7. What do we got? All greens for the most part. Thank you. We at least know the difference where the intercepts are. Keep up with that one. Let's keep going on. Question 8. Oh. Question 8. What in the world happened here, people? Ah, it's that one. All right, let's run it. On question 8, you better have question 8 pulled up in front of you, because what I'm seeing right here for this particular kid, not even close. 3 halves. I don't know where that 3 over 2 is coming from, okay? So when x is 3, this is what that's saying. We just did it on our calculator a second ago. We typed that into our calculator and gave us number the y value. Here, obviously no calculator. This is again saying when x is 3, where's my graph located? 3 comma what? I want the what. So 3, x is 3. Where's the graph located? Down here. And what is that? 3 comma. That's what the answer should have been. I don't know where 3 over 2 is coming from. Now the other one I will give some sympathy there for. But we've done that one too quite a bit. You have to train your thought. You have to train your eyes. This one is saying, hey, what did x have to be in order to get this y value of 6? So we go to the y-axis at 6. Where's that at? Up here. What I am looking for is what comma 6? Right here is the graph. What is its location? -2 comma 6. X had to be -2. That one I can deal with. I can't deal with that one. That ticks me off. This is an easy one. This time of the game, that's easy. That's when we were saying you sold 3 t-shirts, you made how much money? You sold 40 t-shirts, look at the graph, you said you sold me that much money. All right? All right, I don't know if we have one on our quiz, or sorry, test review that is like that. I'm not sure if we do. Maybe it's on the back side. All right, so let's see here. Nothing there. Oh, let's go at least to the front side. Right up here. Number 1. We have it partially like that. Right there, number 1. Let's just do that first comparison. What's it say? F of 1 compared to G of 1. We'll get to comparisons in a minute on our quiz. Okay, F of 1, G of 1, that just says the last two questions we talked about. Plug in 1 to your calculator. F of 1 means 2 times what? 2 times 1 plus 4 gives you what? Type it in, or 2 times 1 plus 4, you're getting a 6. Now, right back to your quiz. Exact same question here. So I know we've done this a lot of times. When x is 1, go to your graph. X is 1, where's the graph located? Right up here. Highlight it. 1 comma what? You're comparing that. We've done that idea in multiple views. From here in a comparison, from a word problem, and how does 6 compare to 2? We'll get to comparisons. We'll come back and finish that up in just a few minutes. Okay, let's go back to our quiz. Let's go, guys, to question 9. Let's watch your time. We're looking fine. Question 9, thank you. A lot of greens. That's what we want to see. A lot more greens. What do we got? You know what the slope and the y-intercept is. Thank you. All right, question 10. Let's go look at question 10, everybody. Back down to greens, some more yellows though. So what's going on with this question? It's our comparison. So on our comparisons here, this person here got the first one right, got the other two. It's the table I can live with a little bit. Still though, we talked a lot about tables. Okay, so let's just go back to our test review. Let's continue where we left off. Number 2. Let's look at number 2. Okay, on number 2, let's look at this. It says f of 32 compared to g of 32. Go to your table, find when x is 32, what's its what? What's its y value? Right here, f of x is the table. 32 gets me 24. Go to my calculator. You're typing this into your calculator, and then you're comparing. Go to my calculator, use same thing. Desmos, type it in. You got your calculator in front of you. Type it in. What do we have? -4 times, let me do this again. Let me do this with Desmos since most of you have that. Okay, so -4 times 32. And then what are we doing after that? What's the equation read? Come on, get out of the way. -16, thank you. I couldn't see it. You should be comparing it to your calculator, better be saying -144. If it's not saying -144, tell us right now. These are easy ones. Compare positive to a negative. A positive is always greater than. Okay, slopes. Slope here on the table. We've done a lot of table work at the slope. Okay, here is where you just need to calculate me one change. Right there. It's already linear. You just got to do that one change. How do you go from 0 to 8? How do you go from -16 to 0, I think it is. How is that change happening? Compare that slope to the slope of the equation. You just showed me on the previous question, you all know what the slope is. The slope is -4 on that equation. How does the slope of the table compare to -4? I don't know. Figure it out. I'm talking to Victor.
That means that right here was
So this is right here. That means that was 1 comma -2.
-2.
So that's a -1 there. Then if this one's g of 1, it's 1 comma 0. You're welcome. All right, how are we going from 0 to 8? -16 to 0. Here's, I keep telling you, if you're thinking the answer's 2, that's going to probably maybe really screw you. But the slope is actually 8/16. We reduce that down to a half. We're comparing a half to a -4. Y'all can tell me the slope and equation. Cool. How does a half compare to -4? Even though it's a half, it's positive and negative. The last two are all about knowing where is that y-intercept at. You guys know the y-intercept from the equation's cool. That's negative 16. Looking at the table, we've hit you a lot on that. The dumb mistake is to say negative 16. That's not the y-intercept. It's right here. The y-intercept is, 8. And how does 8 compare to 16? It is, greater than. See what you did? Go back through that quiz. I mean, my guess is hopefully you're realizing those quick mistakes, and those are a lot of those are easy fixes. That was on our quiz there. Let's look at the next one on that quiz. Question something or other. 10. Let's go to question 11 real quick. Looking fine on time. Okay, question 11. Eventually. We got another comparison. That comparison is an equation to there. This is as easy as it gets. The table can take a little bit of time, easy mistake. This one though, right here, this person did that thing I told you. Probably usually happens. They see negative 3 and said equal. Might be, but what are we doing here? We're plugging in and comparing not negative 3, but whatever 6 times negative 3 minus 12 is in our calculator. Plug that in. Your calculator better return, you better use those parentheses, a negative 30, I think. No problem. Now, for the graph, when x equals negative 3, my graph is down here, negative 3 comma what? Negative 5. It's negative compared to a negative. Mario, put the phone away, dude. Negative compared to negative. The larger the negative, larger the number, it is less than. Take a quick one. Now, the rest of this was fine. The slope is positive 6. The slope is positive something. So I have to check that positive something. I'm looking here, some other nice points that I've identified. And what I'm noticing is I'm going up 1, right 1. Up 1, 1 over 1 is just, so this person got that right, good. And then the y-intercept's the quick one. Negative 12 here compared to a y-intercept. You guys identified that earlier. Crosses the y-axis at negative 2. You guys all did well on that. That's good. And negative 12 compared to a negative 2. That is correct, of a less than. Let's flip it. Let's go to back to our review. I gave you one that's a little funky, but not quite. Let's compare these equations now. Negative 2x compared to 2x. We are plugging in 2's. Okay. Now we need a calculator. Because what's negative 2 times the net positive 2? If I can write that correctly, is a negative 4. You can plug in your calculator, I don't care. And then 2 times 2 is just 4. And then we should be selecting a less than. You guys, that person I just highlighted there a second ago did fine on the next two. The slope is negative 2. The other one is positive 2. So what do we have there? We have a less than. Negative is less than positive. Now I don't see any y-intercepts up here. There's no plus, there's no minus at the end of that. So what that means is the y-intercept is 0. And how is a 0 compared to 0? It's equal to it. Okay. Give you a second, then we'll go back to the quiz. All right. I'm gonna pause here. Take a minute, stand, stretch. We're gonna finish up this quiz here so I can keep your attentions. Take one quick. We got about a 2-minute break here. Take one quick. Finish this thing up. Going through, we've gone through that quiz so far. Ideally, you notice on that quiz, that was a dumb mistake, that was a dumb mistake. Let's get these dumb mistakes fixed for again Monday on the actual test. Quiz is not going to affect your grade that much. It did for a few of them, but the test is what's going to impact you the most heading into the finals. I'm done with drawing. Either, neither. I'm done with drawing.
I'm really dumb.
Too late. I'm done with drawing.
No!
Scales like that. I don't have any. All right, one more minute here. We're gonna finish this thing up. I want, again, better things on Monday for everybody. That test has to be much better than a 68 average. Now, yours is pretty good, so keep up the same thing. And as a whole, a lot of silly mistakes that start adding up. Okay. Back to that quiz. Where are we at? Question. Where are we at? Question what? 12? Okay. So question 12 here. That's good. Got greens. Let's just check to make sure we got where we got greens going on. Okay. Can read the graph. That's the t-shirts we've been talking about. That's that question I kept getting ticked off at you about. Is like 1f of 3, 1f of f of x equals 6. You go to the y-axis, it's the same thing. Here, you guys got all greens here. You know when it's dollars, you know the dollars are here, it's the same idea. Where's $31 at? Right about here and about 8 gallons. So obviously you can answer that, it's just in a different viewpoint. It's the exact same question. Question 12, let's go to question 13. All right, we dropped off. It's about 50-50. Let's go see what question 13 was doing. Guys did well here as we work through things, and this is, like I said, where I get a little ticked. We're selling sweatshirts at $18 a piece, and if I was to start scrolling through here, I see minus 54. That's good. This person here said a plus 54. At any point, for the most part, over the course of the last 3 weeks, have we ever done a plus off of that? We're giving away things for free. We're raffling off, I think, sweatshirts, right? We're giving away things for free. What are we doing? We are losing money. You're getting money by 18N, losing money though. So this plus 54, minus 54, minus 54, that's good. I don't know where 15N is coming from. I do. $18 minus those 3 free shirts. That doesn't, those aren't the same units. Dollars per shirt minus 3 shirts. 18 minus 3. Nah, you haven't been paying attention. And then, all right, so let's go find that one on the test review. Let's flip it to the back page because I know it's on the back page. Okay. All right, back page, everybody. Let's focus. You got some Jolly Ranchers and Dum Dums in you. Let's stay focused here. Let's go sell some of these pretzels. Getting thirsty. Okay, pretzels is the number of pretzels. And then from the pretzels, we are making our money, our earnings. So where are we at? We're at the home soccer game. One more time. You don't have to pay, usually worry about any costs with the rental fee. We're just making pretzels, selling them at $2 a pop. That's it. That was the sweatshirt one. You sold the sweatshirts for $18. Now, right now, we're not having to lose money. Sell them at $2, that's it. Let's label our axes. This goes right back to the independent variable is the x-axis, it's the pretzels. And then this is going to our y-axis, which is our earnings. Now, letter C you should be getting right. Based off of what I just saw off my quiz, when I did the $31 for gasoline, you correctly said about 18 gallons was purchased. This is the exact same thing. And this is the exact same thing as saying f of x equals 3, or in this case, f of x equals 6. What's the x value? So you can do this, it's just a different viewpoint. So $6 is up here. Where's the graph located at? Yep, it's located right here. Name me that location. And that location is right here at 3, 6. So how many pretzels we sold? 3 pretzels. Again, use some common sense. $2 a piece, $3, sorry, 3 sold. That gives me that $6. I can buy that. Now, how 100? Evaluate E of 100. Can I see that off my graph? No, don't overthink this. E of 100 means I've sold 100 pretzels. Each pretzel costs $2. Go to your calculator, or you shouldn't need it, because what is and made 2 times 100, which is correct, $200. Okay? I think I got like that one in just a few minutes. One of the other questions that was the top list. We need to make some money here. $450 is our goal. I'm not taking 2 times 450. That's gonna be 900. That makes no sense. That right here is the number of pretzels, not dollars. So to make that 450, we have to divide by 2. We've just been doing all that. That was, again, the f of x equals 3. Create the equation, solve it out. Divide by 2, go to your calculators, and punch it in. Punch in 450, divided by, what is it, 2? We need to have on hand 225 pretzels. To sell, we sell those pretzels, we make our money. We then modified that question. We modified it to give away freebies or to pay a rental fee. And that's where now it comes right back to the question on your quiz. We build up to that. Let's scroll up to the top of this here now. Now, as we scroll up to the top of this, let's look at number 13. We're at the away game. We're at an away team. Away team's not going to let you just usually walk in and set up shop. What they're going to do is charge you a rental fee. And on this one right here, we read it. We're charging a rental fee of $25. And because of that, we're also raising the price per pretzel. We raise it 50 cents a pretzel. So what's our new equation going to look like? 250 instead of 2. And also subtracting out $25, right? So that's going to be your equation for the away game. That is what you just did on that quiz and selected this exact same thing. $18 per sweatshirt, raffle away 3 of those. Each t-shirt, sweatshirt costs you, what, $18? You're losing 54. That better be better on Monday. Now we finish this off. Go to your calculator, punch it in. 250 times 125. Go to my calculator. Times 125. Minus what? The rental fee. We make $287.50. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to letter C in a moment because I think in our quiz, the next question might go right with letter C. That's always my top's missed. So let's get ready to go look at back to our quiz. We erased $300. Let's talk about that. How does that correspond to our quiz? Okay. Give me a second there. I got a couple of you still writing down. Again, you're writing this down here to check it over I'll post this video online, so if you want to watch this weekend over reviewing for things, it's online. You get to hear me continue to blab on about that. Okay? Alright, go Deb. Alright, let's go to that quiz. Let's look at question whatever. 14? Alright, let's look at 14 here. All of a sudden we drop off quite a bit. I got a few greens, not enough. I got some yellows, that's okay, but here it is. Alright, the answers should have been, and this is where it's happening, 555 and 61. When I look at these two answers from this particular student, they're close. This is what was forgotten. That's 75. When you went to do that in your calculator, 42. I've got a quick calculator there. All right. When I take that, what is it? 15 right here. 15 times 42. I'm getting 630. And then that's 6. All right. Minus that 75.
You're making us think so much.
You live. And then minus that 75. That's where I'm getting at 555. Now, back to the quiz. We're using that equation. I already gave you the equation for you. You got to learn how to use that of plugging that 42 in, times into your calculator, subtracting that $75, and then we had a goal of $840. That is what we just are about to do, as I said, right here. We did it. We did down here with a goal of, I don't know how many pretzels it was, 450. Here my now new goal is $300. You've done this problem multiple times in multiple viewpoints. Where else have I absolutely hit you on that? Very front side of your test review. Look at the front of your test review. I don't just do this to punish you. Well, maybe. Okay, right here, number 5. Okay, when we solved that equation just a few minutes ago, that's the exact same setup, the exact same idea. So let's go solve that out at the end there. And we are going to add that 25, just like we were doing. 300 plus 25. And then we're going to do our division for one more time. And when I go to my calculator, 325 divided by 2.5, this answer should have been 130. 130 pretzels on hand. Okay? 130 pretzels. Up to that point, we've been doing those for again a couple of weeks. Now, let's finish off because I think the last few questions have to deal with transformations, I believe. So let's finish this off in the last 15 minutes of class. Get it, Victor? Okay, how did you do on the transformations? Look at the next question there. Question, what is it? 15, I think, or 16? Okay, let's look at the next one here. Question 15.
What about the shirts?
Give me a second, I'll come back to that. Let me get through these last couple, I'll come back to that, Victor. Question 15 here. Load up, load up. All right, matching, playing the matching game. That's a shame. Okay, on this one here, the first obvious one this student got right was h of x going to plus 3. When I look at your guys' greens and reds and yellows, okay, this one that is that cyan-like looking color, it's going down, your eyes are going down, and when that's going down, that means the options that I have to choose from have to be a negative out front. So k of x, which is cyan, needs to have a negative x, negative out front. So those have to go, come on, have to go down, got to have a negative out front. Then you're moving up or down. This student got the second one right, but missed the other two. There's a minus 3 at the end. The minus 3 at the end took it and moved it down 3 units. That's that g of x that is highlighted right here. You're gonna have the same solid question on Monday. Match them up. Let's do a little bit better job of that for sure. That +3 was going right here. And then that -3 should have gone to what? G of x. See what you had off of that one. And then the only thing that mattered, that remained, was that 3 of x. That 3 of x, okay, that's a typo. That 3 of x should have been with j of x. That makes it steeper. It takes your line and increases its steepness. That's that green line in front of you. I know we can do better than what was on there. So let's make sure we do that on Monday. Question 16 here, let's wrap it, and 17 and 18. And then we'll go back and finish it off with the quiz, our test review. Lots more greens, that's what we want to see. Right here, all right, don't look at this. This is what we start off with. The 2x minus 3, I don't really care what that is. This is what I'm looking at, the transformation. This student fell right into that trap. I have a 2x minus 3 there. They selected minus 3 down. Not right. You're looking at the transformation equation. That says a +2, and what's the only thing a +2 means? Letter A, going up. Most of you were just fine. That's good. And last two questions here, 17. We kind of drop back off here on 17. On 17 then, right here, the answer should have been -6x. You're taking the original, and it says multiply by 2. We're taking it, plugging it in, and what's 2 times -3? 2 times -3 is? Yeah, -6x should have been there. And the last one, and then we'll go back to the test review to wrap up today with, as we've done. Dropped off again. And why did we drop off again? Because you're taking the original, and what are you doing with it? You're going down 5. So with that going down 5, this person here forgot the x minus 5. Okay, you put a 5 there. But I have to have that whole equation there. And as I get several students that are doing it correctly, this person forgot the x. I gave him some partial credit back off that because at least have the -5 there. But you got to have the x that goes along with it. I don't know where a -1's coming from. Besides, they missed that. Okay, so let's go back to our test review. Let's go find some transformations that goes with it. And let's finish this thing up for today. Let's look right here on number 8. Go find 8 there on your review. This is kind of what we just talked about. And then on number 8, what do we got? We're starting off with x. We're going to transform it with a -2 times f of x. So we're starting off with x. When I think we're starting off with x, you guys did on the quiz, you show me that when that slope is positive, what is our graph doing? Our graph is increasing. So we start off by increasing. We have 2 things occurring here, a negative and a 2. Each one does something special. What does that negative out front do first? What's that negative out front do? Of my 3 options? That's my reflection. I'm going to go from increasing to decreasing. So I am reflecting over the x-axis, and that's because of that negative right there. Then, what else do I have going? I've got a 2 right behind it. Where's that 2 going? Compression, stretch, or up and down? Compression, stretch. Now, which one is it? It's enlarging things, stretching it out. And we say by a factor of 2. Why do I not have any up and down movement happening? Do I have anything at the end? No. Based off what you guys answered on the quiz, that was pretty good, so that's nice to see. Letter B. Or sorry, let's finish this off. Because that reflection, we were decreasing, so our graph is decreasing. Let's go with the last one there, letter B. How am I starting off with? It's -4. -4x means my eyes are going down. And then I look at the transformation equation here, and what do we got? What's the first thing you encounter? A negative means reflection. We have that. So if I start off as negative, I'm reflecting over the x-axis. So what I am now doing, I am now Increasing, correct. I have a 1/2 in front. That 1/2 means a stretch or compression. And it's a half. You're making something smaller. And do I have any up and down movement happening? Because of the, and is that up or down? Up because of the plus. Duh. Can't make it any more straightforward than that. Okay? That's what impacts that. Let's go to the last page here. Still got the time. Let's do a couple more things. Now on the last page that we'll talk about, all right, let's go ahead and let's do the matching game, because I know we'll have the matching game in a few minutes on that test. Hopefully this one's slightly more right. We'll find out. All right, let's do this. I know a bunch is going on there. You won't have as many. We just saw what was on the quiz. I'll have the exact same thing on the test, the amount of those. So let's play the matching game. I start off with that f of x equals x. Okay, when I'm looking around here, one thing that jumps out to me is one of them is decreasing. A of x now decreasing. And what's the only thing that's got to be in there for decreasing? Negative, correct, out front. So it has to be this one right here. So a of x gets me to, I'm going to select or drag negative f of x because it's decreasing. The other four options are all positive out front. Now, I always look at up and down movement. You guys are good at knowing up and down movement. When I see f of x plus 6, what should my graph have done? Go up or down? Up. 6, and this graph is b of x. So that's going to go right there at b of x. Slight typo. Okay. Do I have any other up or down movement happening? I have a minus 6 up there. Which graph went down 6 units? C of x. I'll have those color coded again for you to help on that quiz, on that test on Monday. Now the two that remain are the kind of trickier ones, but just think, does it enlarge or does it stretch? Is it flatten, compress, whatever you want to call it? Okay. When I go back, I always look at that f of x. I start there. Which one went steeper, h or g? Which one went steeper, h or g? H went steeper. And when you go steeper, you enlarge it. You stretch it out. Which number that remains correlates to enlarging something? Yeah, 4 of x, f of x. We finished that off. We've done everything right. The last one should go together. It's a third. What's a third do? That flattens things. It compresses it. It makes it not as steep as the original. So that's that 1/3. You take a third of something, you divide it, you're making it a little bit smaller. Okay. We went through a lot in the time here. We went better in a 68 on Monday. So tonight, tomorrow, here's what I want you to do. All right. Don't worry about the test review. We're going to come in on Monday. We'll do a little bit warm up. Start focusing, if you've not already, focus on the review for finals. So tonight, what I would like you to do is, if you have no big plans, go home, put 15 minutes on your phone, timer goes off, put the review off to the side. Tomorrow, another 15 minutes. Sunday, another 15 minutes. That's all I'm asking you to do. What is that? 45 minutes, I guess, this weekend? 15, 15, and 15? You're working at review for finals. Review for finals, what you're focusing on. Do it in those chunks. All right? You want to find yourself working a little bit more than 15 minutes? That's cool. All right? If Monday we come in, let's get that test. All right? I will upload this video. I'll working through things back up to the class calendar. If you want to see it again, you want to do a little bit of extra study for that test. Okay?
If I did know, with Matia that I got to do right.